Good morning in there, out there, in there. Here's Vivi. She's getting some treats this morning. But from in here, out here too, Yeah. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How about how everything just bursting out? Our azaleas, holy cow, our lilacs. You know what's been fun is we moved into this new place, right, Viv? Yeah, you're going to stay here for a little bit anyway, aren't you? She seems to want to sleep in the other room this morning. And the people would like to say at least good morning to you before you go running off. Where was I? Huh? Good slurp, huh? So anyway, we moved in here in November, so we had no idea what there was to come up. Goodbye, Vivi. My apologies. Yes, me. I need a slurp. Oh.
You go back here.
Oh, well. Okay. Anyway, everything's popping back up. And you know, in town up the road, Holland, it's tulip time. Third largest festival in the country. They have lots of caramel corn. And this year, a little rough because spring came a little early. The tulips came up early. So there's a few feet of streets and that you can drive or walk by and look at stems. Oh boy, that's good. Can you see this? No. So I'm Mr. Jack to Jesse and his wonderful family. I just hope you're enjoying the spring. See, it's very important to just not just look, but really see. Really see. Couple geese on the pond this morning. Wow. Well, I I can't hold this back anymore. It's a little. What a gift we had last Thursday. You know, I told you about being the guests of Carrie Newcomer at her concert, and it was even more than. She was so good to us. And she just almost cried over Julie's yarn. It was beautiful to see her. And then her partner, accompanist, Gary Walter, she said, get over here, you have to feel it. And he felt it and his eyes just lit up. Then I told her the story about it, the nuns who make it and who restore icons around the world. And it just meant so much to her. And then there we were, Julie Meredith and I and Jim Ellis in the front row, right beside Gary Walters at the piano, so we could see everything. And honest to gosh, to the entire audience, Carrie, and we can't call her Carrie now. It's just like saying Sam. It's Carrie. Told the audience all about Julie's yarn, and this was the thing. If you ever get a chance to see her, it's not entertainment. It's hard to explain. It's not a performance, and yet she's a great singer who really gets into each piece. It's like watching a brilliant actress. I mean, when she sings something sad, her whole everything comes through the song. And afterwards, you don't talk about, boy, was that a good show or anything. You talk about the songs and what touched you. And we were crying. I mean, I look over and Julie's wiping her eyes, and Jim Ellis and Meredith. Yeah, and me. The sentimentalist. Welcome to it, by the way. Hi, Mark. Mariana. And You just don't talk about it as an entertainment, and the audience somehow partway through becomes like a community. We joined in one song, and this woman next to me and we were just singing together. It was so beautiful. It was like I knew this woman all my life. I don't know how she does this. I don't. And her new album, A Wild Mercy. A Great Wild Mercy. Oh, get it. It's something. It's so important for our time.
Try not to doing something absolutely ready for. Yeah, it is a great wild. Yeah,
Great Wild Mercy. Yep. Did you hear, Julie? Wasn't that great? Right here, all the way from the Philippines. Julie Riddle. That's it. Let's hear it for her. Let's hear it. And Gary Walters, he's not an accompanist. He's a solo pianist, and she gives him a solo. And I went to him afterwards because everyone was she had her stuff there, and so people were talking and mingling and signing. And he was sitting by his piano, and I went in and talked to him, and I said, because don't you want to be a solo artist? And he said, I tried it once, and actually Carrie wanted me to. And she kept encouraging me. And I cut one album, and I realized I want to be part of Carrie Newcomer. I don't want to be up there by myself. I don't want that. I want the piano. I want to be. It'd be okay to have a curtain around me. He was so dear. And then I said, well, I want to send you a book and thank you for tonight. But I need your address. And he wrote his address down on a piece of paper. He found a pen. Guess what the paper was? The sheet that had tonight's set on it. So we had this wonderful souvenir. Ah, boy. And dear people were there who would not have gone. Right, Amy? Fran? Mort? I mean, there you were. Gosh, and you're such dear people, and because they were watching, they went to the concert because I had mentioned it last Thursday. And that really touched me. I mean, it was like trust. And we're really glad they went. And she sang, You Can Do the Hard Thing, and we put our arms around Meredith. Do you know what happened to Meredith this week? It was so bad she had a panic attack when she woke up Tuesday morning. I need a slurp over that. It's a dad thing. On Monday, she staggered home here. They had to clear her room. They had to come in, 4 social worker and teachers had to come in the room with those pads, they wear in prisons, etc., when there is violence going on. That's all. Meredith ran out of the room, got all her kids out of the room except the violence. In came the others. It's, this is all about Julie and me, but it is really hard to watch your grown-up daughter go off to suffer like that every day. If I hear, they're going to have to control me, because if I hear anything about, teachers, man, she has 670 students, okay? You want that job? Do you really? 670 students, plus they have to bring in 4 people to break up violence. So you can do the hard thing, we kept saying to her. Frank Bruni's new book's out. I recommend it. It's about grievance. I think I mentioned it before, but we're in a time of grievance. It's not a time of divisive, let's argue out the issues. The one side, and I'm going to say it, the one side, it's a grievance. We hate you. We're against, not for. And Bruni argues that it's one of the only times, if the only time in history, where It's not been a conflict. It's grievance, where it's not been America's optimism. Here's what we can do about this. It's you. And I keep glancing out the window, and I apologize, but it's beautiful out there. Oh my gosh. Couple tough things this week. You have them too, so I won't go into anything. My dear friend, we had a memorial service for him. The great story about that is that this is a colleague of mine who voted against my coming to Hope. Maybe I told you this. And it's just beautiful. Voted against me, wasn't for me. And we end up best friends, watching ball games together with another colleague, Bill Reynolds. And Peter Cockle is his name. And we wrote a bunch of books and anthologies together. 1, 2, 3, 4 revised. 4 of them, that's a lot. And we worked together so well. So I need a slurp for my dear friend Peter. And my hilarious family friend Billy Campbell from my little town passed away. And Billy is the only person I know who could laugh and talk at the same time. Did I tell you that last week? I don't know. But he would say things like, you won't believe the wreck I was in today. I'm coming around the corner and this other guy just T-bones me from the side. And he used to be the best for my dad if he'd lose a game, because he'd cheer my dad up so great. He was such a fan. And he would say, it's hard to believe that Warren had an off night. Are you kidding me? How could Warren have an off night? And you know what? Now I can't stop. One of the things Billy did that was so great was, you think of this crazy guy, wonderful crazy. It's not crazy. I mean, it's just wonderful. And he drove the Zambelli fireworks truck. And did you know you can't drive through towns or cities with a fireworks truck? You have to go around everything. It'd take him days. And one famous person whose name we can't remember wanted himself shot. You'll tell me, somebody will. Shot into space, his ashes into space, and have fireworks. And Billy drove the truck to Las Vegas to shoot the fireworks at the funeral. And it was that was Billy, and just everything about Billy everything was incongruous. It was like that. He just loved it all. Well, I talked about Carrie Newcomer. Well, a nice phrase, Julie Sam, wrap her up, about Carrie Newcomer. You can't, W.B. Yeats' line, you can't tell the dancer from the dance. And Meredith, on a good side, she's marching today in the Kinder Parade at Tulip Time. She's got her costume. She had a male costume and a female's costume, and she's trying to decide. I just think that's great. Oh my gosh, that's great. And we got a new car. We have a new car. If you have the keys and you get in the car, it just starts. It's got so many things on it that I don't, wait a minute here. This. I'll probably be... What else does it do? It's just astonishing. It's got 188 speeds. Anyway, brand new car. Thank you, Denars and Chevy, and it's one of those electric cars that gets 200 and some miles to a gallon. Even more than
no,
I mean to a.
There goes Billy.
It gets to an electric charge. 300 and some to an electric charge, and Vivi loves it. So we went out and had ice cream. That's what you should always do. Go out and have ice cream. Right? It.
No dog.
This is a poem for Billy and Peter and everybody. Everybody, really. But it's not jolly. But it's also, not jolly. It's called Traveling Back. And Charlie Brice, the wonderful poet from Pittsburgh, but that's not why he's a wonderful poet. It's just, he's a wonderful poet. Traveling Back, a request from Charlie Brice for his wife. After his wife's funeral, he pulled his car off the back road, stopped beside Wilson Lake, and watched the fog over the water. It was a place he knew well, a place where the fog always came, a tired good dog sleeping at his feet. He wondered what grief was and why it sat in him like the stars. She had been an empty glass, summer, a quilt at the end of the bed. She had been the words he never said. There was no moon. The night was a mute savant. He wanted to fly. He wanted to go home. Take care. Be kind. Try to be cheerful. It's amazing that you're with me and right here.